My name is JD Bradley, and I've had a hell of a life that's given me a unique perspective and crazy stories that I share here. I moved back to Corpus Christi 21 years ago, a little bit more than 21 years ago, and I've been pretty much part of the local dancing community ever since then. By dancing, I mean strippers, of course, but they don't like to be called strippers, at least not locally. They like to be called dancers. I frequently refer to them as strippers in this podcast because that's what the general public knows them as. But anyway, on with the story. There's a girl that goes by, actually we're going to call her Ashley, even though that's not her name. And I've known her for, 15, 16 years, and I fucked her, and actually I fucked her sister too. Fucked both of them, and they hate each other, so they don't really find out about it. I'm not going to get into that, but anyway. This girl Ashley, last year, disappeared. Like, nobody had heard from her. And one of her best friends got a hold of me and said, "Hey, when's the last time you heard of Ashley?" Or heard from. So I hadn't heard from her in a long time. Well, then before you know it, the rumor got started that she'd been murdered. And this girl, she's pretty hardcore. I've known her since she was young and extremely pretty. She used to go by Innocence because she looked innocent, but over the years, the methods kind of roughed her up a little bit. She's still pretty, still has great tits, but anyway. The rumor was that she'd been murdered, and she hangs out with some pretty hardcore people, and that sucked, but really what we could do about it was just the rumor. And then last Martin Luther King Day, the reason I thought of the story is because this is Martin Luther King Day weekend 2020, but Martin Luther King Day 2019, I was at home and I happened to be looking at my phone and I got an instant message from Ashley, Facebook, except for it was a brand new Facebook, and I wouldn't have seen it except for I just happened to be looking at my phone. And it said, "Jay, what are you doing? You there?" And so I wrote back. I said, "Is this really Ashley?" And she said, "Yes, I need you to pick me up at the H-E-B on Castores." H-E-B, in case you don't know, is the big chain of grocery stores here in Texas. So I said, "I'll be right there." I live really close to there, right? So I get in my car. I was there probably 3-4 minutes, and I get there, and there she is. Oh, she was looking pretty rough. She'd been through some hell, and so she jumps in the car, and she gives me a kiss, like, "Oh, thank God." And she tells me that she'd basically been held against her will by this guy for the last 9 months. And he's part of a local outlaw gang that I'm not going to mention because A, I don't want to piss him off, and B, they've never done me any wrong, and the few of them that I know have actually been pretty fucking cool to me. But she said this dude, she went there to score some meth and basically kept her there against her will for 9 fucking months. And she said she hadn't been outdoors in 9 months or even seen sunlight. I'm like, wow, that's fucked. So she asked me if I could run her by his place to get her stuff. I'm like, "Where's your stuff?" And she's like, "Well, I stashed her in the alley around the corner from his place." And I'm like, "Sure." So she's giving me directions, and then she says, "What if he shows up?" So, "Well, then I'll beat his fucking ass." And she's like, "Are you for real?" I'm like, "Look at the kind of shape I'm in. None of those dudes, at least none that I know of, could take me in a one-on-one fight. It'll be okay." We get there, and she had like 3 bags of clothes, and that tells me probably she went there to stay for, a couple weeks on a meth binge, and then he just decided to keep her there. But anyway, so she gets her 3 bags of clothes. We come back to my house. She takes a shower. We fuck. I took her out drinking, and then we pretty much were on a 3-day drink fuck fest for, the next 3 days. And then she got a hold of a friend of hers, and then she went over there, and that's pretty much the end of the story, except for I was 49 years old at this time. At this point in my life, I consider myself pretty laid back and conservative. But it occurs to me a lot of people consider that a pretty unusual story. But that's pretty much just how my life is, and I'm not complaining by any means. Better that than boring. And plus, I like the many different female naked bodies I get to see all the time. But anyway, that's the greatest escape story of Martin Luther King Day 2019. I hope it amused you. As always, if you like this, please like, subscribe, and share it on your social media, and recommend it to your friends. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great Martin Luther King Day. Bye.